The following is a production of CUTV Sports.
On the first day of March, the madness of Division II basketball is just beginning. The first round of the PSAC women's basketball tournament has seen upsets and unexpected results. Now, both the Vulcans and the Griffins are looking to survive and advance. Hello everyone, I'm Allison Steinheiser. Alongside me is Zach Lamar. And Zach, these two teams just met just a couple days ago.
Yeah, same thing that happened last year. Clarion and Cal played them twice in the amount of 4 days. Same thing happening this year. And the game Wednesday night in Greensburg was one of the instant classics that I've ever seen, in my opinion. Paige Alviani hitting a buzzer beater at the end of the second half. Mahadi led the way with 23 points. The defense for Cal U, though, first time in 15 games, they didn't have 10 or more steals. They weren't as aggressive. Maybe see that change today, and they might come away with the victory.
And you said it was a buzzer beater, but we can't really describe in words what happened. So we're going to give you a look, and Matt Hagee has the call.
10 seconds. Seabom looking around. Gives it to Mahadi. Mahadi, jumper! Good! Emma Mahadi has tied it! 6 seconds remaining.
There's still 6 seconds
Here
left.
comes Seton Hill. Alviani, the senior. From a long distance. Oh! Alviani at the buzzer!
And Zach, Seton Hill needed to win that game to get into the playoffs, and they did get in, and they're now on that PSAC bracket.
Yeah, and last year when they were part of the WBASKETBALL, this is their first year in the PSAC, they went on a run in the playoffs last year, so this is not an inexperienced team by any means. They're led by three dynamic seniors, Gattuso, Alviani, and Stossel, and they're the ones that are going to possibly lead the way to Seton Hill maybe making another run in a new conference this year.
And Seton Hill has a long way to go to advance to the end of that bracket, but as we take a look at the PSAC women's bracket, there have already been a couple of upsets today.
Yeah, Kutztown going on the road to Shippensburg, and Kutztown, the 6th seed, taking out Shippensburg, who many thought might enter the regional rankings in the coming weeks. Shippensburg's chances, though, looking very grim. And then the other game, Millersville losing at home as well to the number 5 seed. I believe that was, as the name is escaping me, I believe that was East Stroudsburg. And, you know, everything is just going a little wacky today, so they may see another couple upsets here. You have this game, and then UPJ and IUP at IUP. Who knows what could happen there?
Yeah, and it was East Stroudsburg that did advance. So East Stroudsburg will play Bloomsburg. Kutztown will take on Westchester. And Zach, we're here today. There are going to be a couple of players that are going to have to step up for both of these teams.
Yeah, for Seton Hill, we have to go with one of the dynamic seniors, and you can't go wrong with any of them. We're going to go with Alviani, though, just because she hit that buzzer beater. That's not the only part of her game. She can shoot lights out from the free throw line as well, averaging about 89%. She can dish it out, get a couple big rebounds as well. She's going to be the key contributor today for the Griffins and their playoff hopes hopefully continuing on. And then for California, Caitlin Frotz. She scored 9 total points in the last 2 games after being shut out on senior night against UPJ. She kind of broke back out again against Seton Hill. Maybe we'll see her put up again 20 more. California's had a streak of, I believe, 7 or 8 games with 20 points or more from an individual player. Maybe see that again today.
It's the Vulcans and the Griffins to find out who takes on the Golden Knights in Gannon next week. Stay tuned right here on CU.
Watch CUTV online anytime, anywhere. Check out your favorite original programs, coverage of the biggest events on campus, and cheer on your Vulcan sports teams. CUTV. Log on. Tune in now. Visit cutv.calu.edu/live.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
Vulcan women's basketball on CUTV brought to you by First Niagara, JD Waterproofing, Lee Supply Company, the Physical Therapy Institute, Trip Total Media, and UPMC Health Plan. Zach, taking a look at our tail of the tape now, scoring and turnovers are two of the big things that separate these two teams.
Yeah, scoring and turnovers and steals as well are in the favor of the Vulcans. The one thing I look at, though, efficiency is more on the side of Seton Hill. They don't score as many points, but if you make more shots than the other team in the fewer amount of attempts you have, you might have a better chance of winning. They might have more attempts, but if they make more shots, then they'll come out on top. The same for California. Their defense maybe trying to get on the opposite end of Wednesday night, where they only forced 14 turnovers after having a couple straight games or more. They forced maybe around 18 to 22.
California's going to have to get back to that defense that does, just as you said, force a lot of turnovers. And now we're going to take a look at our starters, starting with the Seton Hill Griffins. You have number 2, Jaron Gill. Number 4, Katie Gattuso. Number 10, Tiara Stossel. Number 12, Paige Alviani. She's the one that hit the almost half-court shot to beat the Vulcans. And number 24, Mallory Sanner. Now taking a look at your California Vulcans starting lineup. Number 2, Emma Mahadi. Number 11, Caitlin Fratz. 21, Mickey Glenn. 22, Irina Kukol, and rounding out your starters, Coach Jestrom, number 45, Ashley Hines. So those will be the 10 girls that will be on the court to start for both of these teams.
Yeah, it's the same starting lineups as Wednesday night. There's no difference at all. We thought maybe Mickey Glenn, she was a little banged up on Wednesday night. We saw after the game, during the men's game, she had a swollen cheekbone. She's in the starting lineup tonight, though. She's out there playing. Kate Seabaum, Elena Antonenko, they're going to both be bench presences. For Seton Hill, their bench not as deep. Megan Mastriani, she was hurt pre-game before Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Her injury is still affecting her. She won't play, we assume. But they have a couple girls, Mariah Wells, Jessica Slagus, Kinross Abouthier. We don't know how to pronounce the name. We're sorry if we're butchering it all, but they have players on their bench as well. It's going to come down, in my opinion, probably to the last minute or so in the second half.
Yeah. It really will, especially with a couple of players last game for Seton Hill getting into some foul trouble. It's Gattuso and Kukol for the tip. Gattuso gets it, gives it to Gill. Seton Hill will have the first chance here. Alviani gives it to Stossel. Stossel pressured, she gives it back to Alviani. Now around to Sanner. Tries to go inside, they will find Gattuso inside, tries to back up Fratz, throws up a shot, that's no good, rebound bounces around, it goes off of California's hand and out of bounds, so 11 seconds will be on the shot clock for Seton Hill.
And because that didn't hit the rim there, it will only be 11 seconds. I was surprised, though, Caitlin Fratz matched up with Katie Gattuso. Gattuso so much taller than Fratz. That's going to be a mismatch every day. Gattuso missed on her first opportunity, but I would expect her to correct that later on in the game if she's matched up with shorter players again.
They're going to say it did hit the shot clock, so they reset it. Or it did hit the rim, excuse me, so they reset the shot clock. Gill drives inside, throws up a shot. That is good, and Seton Hill gets on the board first.
Those are 2 big points, especially being on the road. Wednesday night's game was at Seton Hill. It was the last home game for the seniors. Now being on the road, it's a much tougher environment. You got to score early.
Ashley Hines along the baseline, drives inside, takes a shot. That's no good. Rebound comes, Sanner comes down with it. Alviani brings it up. Gets around one defender, pulls up, throws it, but it's going to be picked off by Kukol.
And that's the kind of turnovers that the Vulcans need to force. Pressure the person with the ball, make them throw awkward passes, and then intercept them and run away down the fast break.
Frats, some miscommunication there, but Mahadi does get it. It's going to be tipped out of bounds by Gattuso. With 18:53 left to go in this first half, the Griffins still with the only bucket of the game.
And the last time these two teams played at the Convocation Center, Seton Hill got out to a big early lead. I believe it was 8 or 10-0. And then California went on a run of their own.
3 for Kukul will not fall. She gets her own rebound, and she's going to pull it back out. She gets it to Frats. Caitlin Frats resets. Glenn looks to the bench for the play. Back to Frats. Frats for 3. That's no good. Long rebound comes back to Frats. She drives inside, takes a shot. That is good. Caitlin Frats ties the game at 2.
And our player to watch, following her shot, that's something Kuko did on Wednesday night too. Following your shot, making sure you can track the rebounds a lot. She came up with it there for the easy bucket to start the scoring for the Vulcans.
Sander gets it near the corner. She kicks it back out to Alviani. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Alviani still with it. Under 10 seconds on the shot clock. Passes to Gill. Gill tries to go inside, and that's picked off by Mahadi.
And that's 2 straight possessions now with steals for the Vulcans.
Kukul can't control the pass. Frats, great save to Kukul. Kukul keeps it and makes the pass to Mahadi.
And that's great awareness by Kuko, staying with it, not letting 2 Griffins get to the ball.
Frats for 3, and that's good. And Caitlin Frats has 5 points already today.
And after that shot, she was pumping her fist. She is fired up. It's the playoff atmosphere. Every player, as they make a bucket, they're going to get fired up for the atmosphere that's here tonight as we have the ball tipped out of bounds towards Seton Hill. But Allison, it's March Madness.
Yeah.
It's the only way to explain it. These players are very pumped, trying to move forward in the season.
They absolutely are, and California's defense is back to that smothering defense that we've seen from them as they've tipped quite a few passes. Seton Hill drives inside there. Alviani kicks it out to Stossel. Stossel drives. Her shot's going to fall, and they pull within 1 as the Vulcans lead 5-4.
And that was great movement by Stossel, swerving her way through a trio of defenders for California, getting right to the bucket.
Pass inside to Kukul. Now it goes to Hines. Ashley Hines double team, throws up a shot. Her shot will not fall, though. Gattuso gets the rebound. And then there's going to be a foul. It's going to go against Mahadi. That's her first, team first. And the clock will stop with 17:02 left to go in the first half.
And that's something that the Vulcans need to watch. Kuko fouled out on Wednesday night. You want to maybe get Seton Hill into foul trouble, get some of their better players on the bench, and lose some minutes, maybe increase your chances of winning.
Alviani gives it to Sonner. Sonner loses control, and it rolls out of bounds. California will have possession.
That's 3 turnovers now already in the first 5 possessions for the Griffins. And they don't turn the ball over a ton compared to some of the other teams in the PSAC. That's something they're going to need to correct as the game goes on.
Mickey Glenn brings it up. Gives it to Kukul. Kukul thought about a shot, drives inside, gives it to Hines. Hines around 3 defenders, gets it to fall for 2 points, Ashley Hines.
And this is the kind of start the Vulcans want. Get out to a lead and make the Griffins come from behind, because then your defense can smother a little bit more, even though it's only 1 possession.
Quick pass by Sander over to Stossel. Stossel kicks it out to Alviani. She had an open 3. Ashley Hines got over. She takes the 3 anyway. That's going to be good, and there's a foul underneath as well. Alviani, though, ties it at 7.
We're going to see who the foul's going to be on. As we look at the shot here, it happens to fall in. The foul, we do not have clarification. It's going to go against Kuko, I believe.
I believe you're right, and or it's going to go against Mickey Glenn, excuse me. It was after the shot. That's her first, team second, so game tied. Seton Hill has the ball. Gattuso drives inside, throws up a shot. That's no good. Mahadi gets the rebound.
And again, Gattuso matched up with a shorter player for California. That might not work in the Vulcans' favor every time as the night goes on.
Mahadi gets it back. Jumper good for 2. Emma Mahadi gets on the board and gives the Vulcans back a 2-point lead.
And she led Wednesday night with 23 points on her way. Maybe she can't replicate that tonight, but any amount of that points total will help the Vulcans in her cause to win.
Seton Hill took 9 seconds to cross the half-court line. California playing very strong defense right now. Stossel gets it, gives it to Gill now on the wing inside to Gattuso. Gattuso throws it up. That's no good. Ashley Hines gets the rebound.
Gattuso 0 for 3 to start the night. She had 21 on Wednesday. The Vulcans really trying to key in on her down low, make sure she can't get any easy buckets off. She's had some nice looks, but they've not been without some defensive penetration right next to her.
Drive inside will not fall for Mahadi. Rebound goes to Hines once again, and she draws the foul. Ashley Hines, excuse me, will be going to the line as the foul is going to go against Alviani.
That's going to be Alviani's first, and we have reached our first media timeout with 15:15 left. And right now, the start for both of these teams, the way they want to go, getting some shots to fall in. You see right there, Jaren Gill, she started the scoring off for the Griffins. The first shot, like we mentioned, a lot more efficient than the Vulcans. Caitlin Frotz there, she had an opportunity for a three before, missed it, got the rebound, went in to get the two, and then she hit the three here. She has 5 of the 9 Vulcan points already. She was our player to watch. She had 11 on Wednesday night, halfway there already.
And there you see Seton Hill driving inside. That was Stossel for 2 points. California playing great defense though, and Ashley Hines, she's been getting double or triple team down low, and she's still putting up the points and getting the rebounds.
And she's not exactly the tallest player on the court either for the Vulcans. She is undersized, going against some of the players down low for Seton Hill. Gattuso was 6 foot even. Sander, 5'10", the same as Hines, but she's getting double and triple team. It's not going to help her cause, but she's still getting the shots to fall in.
She is, as we take a look at the team leaders. California, we talked about Ira Mahadi, Ashley Hines leading in rebounds, Mickey Glenn assists, then Hines with steals. She's very tough down low. Props inside with her. Taking a look at the other side of the ball, you have Gattuso in scoring and rebounding. Alviani with assists, but she can also shoot as she's shown, and steals. You have Stossel there with 43.
And we're going to see Ashley Hines go to the line now. She's a 45% free throw shooter on the year, so just under half. If she can get even one here, it's going to help the Vulcans because you want every single point you can get, especially in the playoffs.
Ashley Hines at the line. Makes her first. On the year, she's shooting 45% from the charity stripe.
And she's kind of gone on a little bit of a cold streak lately in the past few games. Right now, 3 early points, though, and a couple rebounds. Maybe she's going to start to heat up maybe as the game goes on tonight with 15 minutes left in the first half.
Hines' second shot, that is good as well. Ashley Hines is going to check out of the game with 4 points already. Shanice Clark is going to check in for the Vulcans.
And Shanice Clark Wednesday night, she had a big offensive night as well. She had, I believe, 6 or 8 points, made a lot of shots down low. She's a much better matchup against Gattuso than some of the other players on the Vulcans are.
Gill gives it to Stossel. Tries to throw it out to Alviani, but it's going to be picked off by Kukul. Kukul drives inside, throws a shot. That is good, and Irina Kukul gets her first 2 points. The Vulcans lead 13-7. Back quickly, Gill gets it. Looks for some help, goes to Stossel.
Seton Hill is trying to run down the court, but California's defense very fast, able to catch up with the Griffins.
Alviani to Gattuso. Gattuso going to try inside on Clark, instead kicks it out to Stossel. Stossel steps in, pulls up, 9 seconds on the shot clock. Gill to Alviani, they're forcing it back farther, 5 seconds. Alviani's going to have to throw up the ball here. Instead, she gives it to Sander. Sander's shot is good at the buzzer, and that will count for 3. Sander's first bucket of the game. It's a 3-point game.
And she fouled out Wednesday night, so if she can control her foul, she's another option for the Griffins to go to.
Caitlin Fratz gets it, gives it to Kukul. Kukul for 3. That's no good, gets her own rebound, and she's going to draw the foul as she goes inside.
We'll see who that foul's going to be on. I believe it's going to be on Stossel. She looked like to be the one who pushed Kukul down. It's not going to be a shooting foul.
It's going to go against Mallory Sander. You're right, it is not a shooting foul, but California does get to keep the ball in. I don't know that Kukul was going to get that rebound.
And Seabaum checks in now for Mickey Glenn. Mickey Glenn, we said Wednesday night she was injured. Seabaum a lot of minutes. She didn't score, but she's a very potent defensive option. She passes a lot more than Mickey Glenn does.
Shanice Clark down low, can't get her shot to fall. Gill gets the rebound. Gill brings it up, goes to Sander. Sander looking for some help, and she's pressured by Kukul, finds Stossel. Stossel to Alviani. going to be a foul underneath as Gattuso goes down hard.
And she looks to be injured as she's on the floor, getting up slowly. She pounded her fist on the floor. We'll see right here.
The way she reacted, it might be her knee. I'm not sure. It's her arm. Excuse me.
And it is her arm, and she's grasping it coming up to her left shoulder. Shanice Clark wrapped it up and just kind of twisted, trying to get away from her. Gattuso trying to play through it, but she looks to be in an amount of pain. We'll see how that affects her going on through tonight. She's their #1 offensive option. She gets a lot of rebounds too. She is noticeably grimacing at the shoulder pain she has.
Gattuso trying to stay in the game. 13:37 left to go here in the first half. The Vulcans lead 13-10. Gattuso gets a lot of big minutes. She's the leading scorer for Seton Hill, and do not want to lose her to an injury, and she's going to try to stick with it and stay in this game. Gill gets the inbound pass. Gives it to Alviani. Alviani inside. Sander throws up a shot. That is good for 2. Mallory Sander now with 5.
She's the leading scorer for the Griffins, tied with Frotz with the overall lead. And the Griffins have quickly stormed back in this game.
Shanice Clark kicks it out to Seabaum. Now to Dixon. Dixon looking for some help. Said she's going to turn shoot herself. That's no good. Gets her own rebound. Pulls it out. Now gives it to Seabaum, who's going to reset the offense. CC Dixon with it. Out high. Gives it to Seabaum. Kate Seabaum kicks it out to Mahadi. Mahadi. It's going to be a foul, or excuse me, a whistle against the Vulcans. I believe it was a carry.
Either that or a possible 5-second call down low. Not exactly sure what went on. There's no fall, or excuse me, it's a 3-second in the lane violation.
It's going to be whistle, a foul here against Seton Hill.
Well, maybe it's not a foul actually, as we're getting some confusing calls early on here. The rare one, the 3-second in the lane. On the other side, we're not exactly sure what happened, but another turnover early for the Griffins.
It happened on the far side of the court, and we could not see what the official called. Nevertheless, it's another turnover. The Vulcans, a 3 here by Mahadi, misses everything. Seton Hill's going to get the ball back. Pass to Wells, who had a big game on Wednesday. Now to Alviani. 12:20 left to go in the first half. Vulcans lead by 1. Brennan to Stossel. Stossel looking to drive inside. Her shot's blocked, but it not legally, as Clark is going to get called for the foul, and Stossel will go to the line for 2.
Look at the replay here. That was a very late call on the foul. Goes up, and that's all ball right there on the replay, as we can clearly see that. I'm not sure I agree with the foul call there. And the bench for California, they all leapt up when they heard the whistle. Stossel going to the line, 81% on the year, and that's going to be something that's key to this game. Drawing fouls, going to the line, and making your free throws as well.
First shot, no good for Stossel. Stossel on the year, very good, shooting 80.8% from the free throw straight, and Clark's going back to the locker room. Ashley Hines checked in for the second one is good, and we're tied at 13.
And it's interesting to see Shanice Clark go back to the locker room. She's been struggling with a leg injury throughout the year, maybe attending to that. We're going to see Mickey Glenn going to come back in soon.
Seabaum's shot will not fall. Rebound bounces around. It's going to come down to Stossel. Stossel brings it up. Gives it to Alviani. Now over to Wells. Back out to Alviani. Obi Fule goes to Brennan. Brennan tries to step inside. Her pass bounces out of bounds on Stossel, and with that, we're going to reach a media timeout, and we're going to take a break. Tied at 13. Vulcan Women's Basketball right here on CUTV.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
Let's take it to the field. I come through like a freight train, about to push the line back. Only see the gold line, don't matter if your line stack. Because I'm a soldier, you can see my face paint. Know that I'ma get mine by knowing that the rest can't. We ready for 'em, let's get it on. We ready for 'em, let's get it on. We ready for 'em, let's get it on. We ready for 'em, let's get it on.
Welcome back to CTV's coverage of Vulcan women's basketball. And Zach, here is how the PSAC West finished looking at the end of the regular season.
Yeah, you have Seton Hill battling California right now, of course. Pitt Johnstown, Indiana. IUP was up 16-2 with about 16 minutes left in the first half. Since then, IUP is only up 19-14. UPJ going on a long run to come back in that one. And then Gannon and Edinburgh getting the buys. The winner of this game will go on Tuesday. Presumably, of course, that we have a big polar storm coming in, may get moved to Wednesday, if possibility, to go play Gannon and Erie.
This game tied at 13. Mickey Glenn goes over to Fratz. Now to Mahadi, back to Glenn. Glenn drives inside, kicks it back out to Fratz. Wide open three for Caitlin Fratz. No good, rebound comes to Kukul. Kukul loses the handle though, good defense, and Wells gets the steal. Alviani brings it up, gives it to Brennan, back to Alviani.
Katie Gattuso not in the game right now, maybe trying to rest her shoulder for the stretch run.
Brennan goes to Alviani. Kicks it back out to Brennan, 10 seconds on the shot clock. She drives inside, can't find anybody open. She finds Wells. Wells has 5 seconds on the shot clock. She needs to make a play, finds Brennan. Brennan drives inside. Her shot does fall, and Seton Hill takes the lead by 2.
And right now, Seton Hill's on an 8-0 run. We said they're a much more efficient team at hitting their shots. California needs a bucket right here to stay within contention.
Mickey Glenn with possession. Gives it to Hines. Hines drives inside. She's pressured. Kicks it out to Mahadi. Mahadi too good, and the game's tied back at 15.
Just like that, they have tied the game. And Ashley Hines escaping a triple team down low with the ball. No foul called. That's something Seton Hill not fouling a lot. California already have 4 team fouls.
Cal playing a 1-2-2 zone. Stossel kicks it out to Alviani. Now over to Brennan. Long three for Brennan. That's good. Seton Hill takes the lead. 18-15, 10 minutes to go in the half.
Fratz almost hits a shot. It's going to go out of bounds off of Ashley Hines. It looks like we're going to see Sander and Gill come back in. Stossel and Wells check out.
Vulcans need to find a way to get back on the offense. Seton Hill doing a very good job of penetrating this California defense. Gill gives it to Sander. Across the court to Brennan. Brennan to Sander again. Inside to Obi Fule. Obi Fule drives. She hits a shot. 2 points for Obi Fule, and the lead is extended to 5.
California, though, they have found themselves down by much bigger leads in the year. They are capable of coming back from only down by 5. If they can only hit their shots, their defense still playing well.
Kukul kicks out to Glenn for 3. Mickey Glenn hits the 3-pointer. Those are her first points of the game and cuts the lead to 2.
And Mickey Glenn on the year, 40% from 3-pointers. She doesn't always take a lot of 3-pointers though, but when she hits them, she's a very efficient 3-point shooter.
Gill double team. She's gonna have to call a timeout. Seton Hill not very happy with that one, but nevertheless they're gonna have to burn one of their timeouts early as California was playing some tough defense.
And Gattuso is gonna come back in the game after this timeout. As Allison, we're gonna look at the regional rankings. The one thing we have to note, Shaw did win, so they get the automatic bid for the CIAA. Virginia State, Fairmont State, they both lost within the last week, so they might take a drop. California might drop as well, though, losing to Seton Hill Wednesday night.
Yeah, and Fairmont State, despite them losing, they came back today against Shepherd. Put up a pretty good number, 103-80 was the score of that game, so they came back with a vengeance there. And Still a lot to figure out as 3 teams that are above the Vulcans have not played today, did not play today.
And that's something in the Mountain East. A lot of high-scoring teams. You have Glenville, Fairmont, West Liberty. They can all score within triple digits.
Gattuso, who checked back into the game. Her shot no good, gets her own rebound, throws it back up, tries to go for the rebound again, but it's going to be bounced out to California.
That's 0 for 5 now for Gattuso.
Nice passing there. Kate Seabaum to Emma Mahadi. Mahadi gets 2 points.
We had a stoppage there. Looks like just a substitution. We're going to see Stossel checking for Alviani. And Stossel did not really get much of a breather on the bench, but Seton Hill knows this is such an important game. They need to keep on playing their best players throughout the night.
Gill gives it to Stossel. Back to Gill. To Sander now on the wing. Looks to drive inside. She's pressured by Hines. Tipped away, but the pass does go through to Gattuso, and she gets the 2-pointer to fall. Her first points of the game. Kate Seabaum with some quick passing. Gives it to Hines. Ashley Hines gets it to fall and will get to finish the 3-point play.
That's a great play right there. Kate Seabaum finding Ashley Hines right below the bucket. We'll see right here, going behind Gattuso. Hines dribbles a little bit, stops herself, puts up the shot, gets the lucky roll. We like to call her the Bulldog sometimes. She is playing like it tonight, going inside fierce and not letting anything stopping her.
You talked about Kate Seabaum's great passing. That was just one example of it there, and Ashley Hines has a chance to give the Vulcans a lead. And she does. The Vulcans lead 23-22. Ashley Hines 3 for 3 from the foul line.
And 7 points already. She is now the overall leading scorer. I don't even think she had 7 points Wednesday night in the entire game.
Gattuso out high, throws it across. Now it's going to be Sander with it. Sander kicks it out to Gill. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Gill looks to drive inside. Her pass gets picked off there by Mahadi. Seabaum brings it up, gives it to Glenn. Mickey Glenn kicks it back out. Kukol for 3. That's good. Irina Kukol with a 3.
And one thing I noticed, the defensive end for California, they stop forcing turnovers, but when Seton Hill gets the ball outside the arc, there's someone running directly at that player, stopping the opportunity for an open 3 immediately.
California playing great defense right now. The pass inside to Gattuso is going to be picked off and out of bounds, and we've reached another media timeout with 7:22 left to go. The Vulcans leading by 4.
And the defense coming up big again. That one was forced out of bounds, but we'll see right here, Kuko on the breakaway, getting the fast break score on the layup, 1-on-1 against Alviani. But Sanders, she has 5 points tonight. She does have a foul. Seton Hill still only 3 team fouls though, so they're trying to keep it clean. Getting another layup right there, guarded by Caitlin Frotz. But on the opposite end, we're gonna stay right here at Kelly Brennan for Seton Hill as she gets 2 of her 5 on the game. And then Mahadi, she gets a jumper to go in. She has 6 in the game, right behind Hines for leading scorer. There's the other 3 of Brennan's 5 in the game. It's been a high-scoring affair, but the defenses for both teams not playing very badly. It's just the offenses are hitting their shots when they have the open looks. Mickey Glenn getting a 3 there, her only 3 points for the freshman from West Virginia.
You're going to see a nice pass here by Kate Seabaum to Emma Mahadi, and right now you have Seabaum and Glenn both on the court. That's something we haven't seen very much, and Kate Seabaum really brings another element as you take a look at the women's bracket. And Zach, right now, it's upsets galore in the PSAC.
Yeah, and you never know. Seton Hill could upset California here. UPJ keeping it close with IEP. It's a 1-point game with 5.5 left in the first half. It's something that happens. It's a league of parity this year. Jess Strum has said it herself. Anyone can come out of this bracket this year.
Back to action here, 7:22 left to go in the first half. Vulcans up by 4. Gill only has 10 seconds to work with. They get it to Stossel, now to Sander. Sander bounce pass to Gill, 5 seconds. Gill drives inside, tries to kick it out. She won't to Stossel. Stossel throws up a shot. That is going to be a shot clock violation, but the Vulcans get it anyway. It's going to be Gill over to Seabaum.
That was a dangerous pass over there to Seabaum. Sander had her hand right up. That could have been an easy deflection.
Mickey Glenn to Seabaum. Now it's going to get kicked back out by Mahadi to Seabaum to Glenn, now to Seabaum. Now to Kukul to Ashley Hines, and it's going to be a whistle underneath.
It looks like Kuko might have been out of bounds possibly. Or,
Going to be a foul on Alviani.
That was a confusing call there. That is Alviani's second foul of the game. It looked like maybe referee was whistling out of bounds.
Yeah, there wasn't really a signal, as we have a 3 here by Kukul. That's no good. Gattuso goes after the rebound. It's going to bounce out of bounds, and California was the last to touch it, so Seton Hill will get possession. 6:36 to go in the half.
And now Seton Hill. California responded when Seton Hill went on a run. Seton Hill now needs to respond with California going on a run. They can't let the Vulcans get out to such a big lead. They were up by as many as 7 Wednesday night, but were able to come back.
Alviani for 3. That's no good. Rebound goes to Mahadi. Seabaum brings it up. Kate Seabaum to Ashley Hines. Hines drives inside, throws a shot. They're going to call a travel beforehand. Ashley Hines not too happy with that call, but no basket, and Seton Hill will get the ball.
Oh, and there was 3 steps there. Actually, I counted it myself. She picked up her dribble maybe a little bit too early, trying to evade the defenders, and had 3 steps. So an unlucky call there, but it's good to see Ashley Hines still able to go inside and get some buckets, even if they don't count.
Alviani has control, kicks it over to Sanner. Mallory Sanner pressured, it's going to get stolen away by Kate Seabaum. Seabaum brings it up, drives inside, third shot. That is good for Kate Seabaum. The Vulcans lead up to 6.
And Kate Seabaum, her first 2 points since putting up 23 on senior night against UPJ. She's a much more facilitating player, getting the passes out we've seen tonight. She can also score as well.
Alviani kicks it out to Gill, now over to Sanner. Sanner back to Alviani. Nice job to control that pass. Alviani is going to draw the foul from Seabaum. Kate Seabaum not too happy with that call. That's her first.
We're going to see Frotz come in for Seabaum now, and Brennan for Sanner. And when we had Seabaum and Glenn out there, we touched on this a little bit earlier. I wasn't able to say as we got back to live action. It's a great combo in my opinion, because Glenn's the scorer, Seabaum's the passer, and they work really well together.
You're correct on that, and it was working well. Now they're going to give Seabaum a little bit of a breather as they have 5 team fouls. Gattuso gets her shot to fall, makes it a 4-point game.
Glenn was trying to draw the charge on Gattuso. But I've been saying it all night. You need someone tall on Gattuso, and you don't really have that out there on the court right now.
Fratz kicks it over to Mahadi. Mahadi steps inside, throws up a shot. That's good. Emma Mahadi with another 2 points. She's up to 8.
We have under 5 minutes left now. Seton Hill, their defense, California's starting to find the holes in them. They're not getting off exactly easy shots, but they're getting the ones that they take the fall.
It's going to be a foul on Ashley Hines. She's not happy with the call. Stossel draws the foul. That's Hines' first, team 6th, with 4:49 left to go in the half.
And we're going to get Dixon in for Kuko now. Dixon, a taller player. She's not exactly the tallest on the team, but her senior year in high school averaged 15 rebounds, so that's what she brings to this team.
Alviani kicks it out. Now it's going to go to Brennan. Brennan maintains control, tries to go to Gattuso. It bounces off her and goes back to Brennan. Now to Stossel. Stossel drives inside. Her shot will not fall. Gattuso gets the rebound. Her shot will not fall. Bounces around, and California comes away with it.
And Gattuso probably looking for a foul there. We're going to get a technical called on Katie Gattuso right now, I believe, as she was really barking about not getting a foul called. And that's a surprising call right there. That's going to send someone to the line for California, and that's also possession, I believe.
That's surprising. I did not see what happened. Gattuso, though, picks up a foul, showing some frustration. And I don't know that Seton Hill's bench realized what happened either, because they were standing up clapping. Gattuso went to her coach and said something, and then he was not happy after that. Gattuso now talking with the official, trying to see what happened, and it's Mahadi at the line.
And Mahadi makes the free throw, and she came up very clutch at the end of the game on Wednesday night, down 6 points. She had, I believe, 4 of those 6 points to come back.
Gattuso hits both. She now has 10 points, in California now leads 32-24.
And this is a bigger lead than any lead California had Wednesday night. I know we keep going back to Wednesday night, but it's the barometer for this game because these teams played 4 days ago. I know it's different being at home, but California, 8-point lead. They gave up the 7-point lead Wednesday night. We'll see if they can keep this one with 4:20 still left in the first half.
Yeah, Mickey Glenn brings it up. Glenn still controls it, goes to Fratz, back to Glenn. Now inside to Hines. Ashley Hines kicks it out. Mahadi for three. That's no good. Hits the front of the rim, and there's going to be a foul against California. I think it's going to go against Caitlin Fratz.
There's going to be Fratz on the foul. We'll look here. She's trying to maybe pick the pocket of Brennan, who got the rebound, but she fouled her in the process. Brennan going to go to the line as that's the 7th team foul on the year, 66%. So if she doesn't make this one, it's up for grabs to get possession.
Brennan at the line. 2 points would go in a long way. Hits the first.
And she kind of leaned back thinking she may not have hit that one. So that I'm not trying to say she's not confident in her shot, but that's somewhere Seton Hill can climb back in this game. They keep hitting their free throws. They'll have a great chance because now that they're in the bonus, getting some free shots at the line, even though they're only worth 1 point.
Wells checks into the game, and Brennan hits her second as well. There's going to be a whistle. I'm not sure what happened there. It's going to be a foul against Gattuso, and they're not happy about this once again. Gattuso, I think, is going to, they wanted to check her out of the game, but she's not going to come out.
And that's an unlucky break for Seton Hill. California can take advantage of that, get her in early foul trouble, take away Seton Hill's possibly best player.
It's only her second foul of the game. The Vulcans shot here by Mahadi. That's good for three. Emma Mahadi extends the lead up to 9.
And California tonight, a much more passing team. They're not passive, they're passing. And that's leading to a lot more open shots for the Vulcans. They're hitting them up by 9.
They are hitting their shots right now. Brennan gets control. 3:25 left to go in the first half. Vulcans lead by 9. Alviani. Now to Gattuso, 2 seconds on the shot clock. Her shot does not fall. No, Fratz gets the rebound.
And Gattuso is getting abused right now on the offensive end as Mahadi's going to take a shot. It's no good, but they're going to call her for a travel. As we have reached our last media time at 3:06.
And we're going to take a break. Vulcans lead 35-26 here on CUTV.
Need to know what's happening in your area? CUTV News Center brings you your best local news. Events on and around campus. Local weather. Vulcan sports coverage. CUTV News Center, live, Thursdays at 5.
Welcome back to CUTV's coverage of Vulcan women's basketball, and now you're taking a look at the men's side of the PSAC tournament. As we said, quite a few upsets. Millersville moving on to face East Stroudsburg, and Mercyhurst knocking off California earlier today.
Yeah, and on the east side, Bloomsburg defeating Kutztown. The other game that's in progress right now, Slippery Rock taking on the Seton Hill Griffins. Slippery Rock up 8 at halftime, 36-28.
California up 9 right now. It would be Fule. We checked in for Gattuso. Kicks it back to Stossel. Now to Albiani. Alviani is going to try and drive inside. Under 8 seconds on the shot clock. Her shot is blocked. She gets it back. 5 seconds. Turns, takes the shot, and that is good. Alviani with another 2 points.
And that's great concentration right there by Alviani. She had her shot blocked by Mahadi, able to track down the rebound, just turn around and throw it up. And she made the buzzer beater Wednesday. She's proving she's a very potent offensive threat. Can hit a shot from anywhere on the court.
Glenn gives it to Mahadi. Now to Fratz. Caitlin Fratz slows down the pace, gets something set up. She's going to shoot a 3 instead, and that is good. Caitlin Fratz having a great game.
She has 8 now. She cooled down a little bit. That's her first field goal in, I think, about 10 minutes possibly.
Yeah.
She's back on the board now, 8 total points herself.
Stossel gives it to Brennan. Pressured by Dixon. Brennan gives it to Alviani. Under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Alviani drives inside. She throws up a shot. That's no good. Ashley Hines gets the rebound.
And the defense for California right now, they're getting in the face of these Seton Hill players, not letting them go anywhere. Ashley Hines, she uses swim moves like a defensive end in football, getting her hands in your face, making you lose concentration a little bit.
Glenn drives inside. She throws up a shot. That's no good, but she draws the foul, and she will go to the line for 2. I believe the foul is going to go against Obi Fule.
And it is, it looks like, as we have just gotten confirmation that it's her first. Glenn going to go to the line. So we're going to have a timeout taken by California right now. They have their largest lead at 10 with 1:32 left. Glenn, when she goes to the line, 82% on the year. 3 points in this game. She can extend the Vulcan lead just as easily by hitting one or both of these shots.
It's a timeout by Jess Strom-Gattuso going to check back into this game. So California's going to want to take advantage of that if they can isolate her down low. She's been getting a little bit frustrated as the Vulcans have been playing very physical against her along the baseline.
And I just took a look at the stat sheet that we have from the last media timeout. California has 9 assists. That might be more than any game I've ever really kind of kept track of their assists. 3 of them from Glenn, 2 each from Seabom and Kuko. They're doing a good job of facilitating the other players on their team, getting open looks, and also 5 steals. They're halfway to getting the decade mark, I guess you could call it, at 10 steals, which is really their expectation as a defensive team.
And on the other side of the ball, Seton Hill only 1 steal as well as 8 turnovers. California's only had 4 turnovers. Glenn's first shot is good. Mickey Glenn now has 4 points today. The Vulcans' lead extended to 11. Glenn's second shot is up. That is good as well. Vulcans extend the lead to 12 with 1:32 left to go in the first half.
And she's already the 5th player with 5 or more points for the Vulcans. Putting up 40 points before halftime, that's a good mark for the Vulcans if they want to come away with a victory.
Alviani gives it to Gattuso. Gattuso kicks it out to Gill. Gill, open jumper. That rolls around and does get the bounce in. She now has 4 points today. The lead cut down to 10.
Getting the friendly roll right there, I thought, okay, 1 bounce it might go in. 2 bounces, I thought it might have fallen out. But on the 3rd bounce, it happened to fall in and get her 2 points.
Fratz drives inside, kicks it back out to Dixon. Dixon takes a jumper for 2. That's good. CeCe Dixon gets on the board with her first points.
And CeCe Dixon, along with those 15 rebounds I mentioned her senior year, she also averaged 16 points. She's not had that kind of success her freshman year, but she's going to be able to grow in this system for the Vulcans.
Stossel to Gattuso up high, pressured by Hines. Ashley Hines continues to pressure her. She gives it to Gill. Now to Alviani. Inside to Gattuso. She gets double teamed, kicks it out. Open shot for Stossel. That's good for 3. Cuts the lead once again to 9.
And as long as Seton Hill can remain within single digits, I think they're going to feel confident about themselves. As a team that's able to come back, they can hit 3s in a moment and hit the big shot to cut the deficit.
Glenn to Fratz. Back out to Glenn. She drives inside. She's going to be fouled. Have to see if it goes against Gattuso or Stossel. It's going to go against Stossel. That's her first. Team 8th.
We look on the replay. Stossel originally got all ball, but then she slid her arm down and got the arm of Mickey Glenn, which made an awkward shot, and Glenn going to go to the line for 2.
12.5 seconds left in the game, or in the first half, excuse me. Mickey Glenn at the line once again. Misses her first. Vulcans leading 42-33.
And that's the first missed free throw all day for California. Mickey Glenn, 82%. Yeah, she's occasionally going to miss one, but more than likely she's going to get you at least 1 point at the line each time.
Glenn's second shot is up. That one is good, and she does go 1 for 2. She now has 6 points.
Seton
10
Hill
seconds.
Can hold for last possession here.
Alviani kicks it over to Brennan. 3 seconds. Brennan throws up a shot. That's good, and she draws the foul with 0.3 seconds on the clock.
And that's a great opportunity there for Brennan. She's not exactly the best free throw shooter in the world, but she gets the 2 at least. Brings the deficit down to single digits, 8 points. She can make it a 7-point game with less than a second left. Basically, it's the men's game almost.
Yeah,
we saw Wednesday night.
Yeah, against Seton Hill. Tyna Fortune hit a game-changing 3 to cut into the lead, and that is good for Brennan. And Seton Hill is going to go to the locker room with momentum, even though they're down 43-36.
And momentum is the key thing here at halftime. Yeah, you're down by 7, but if you can keep that going to the second half, it's going to be a big positive for your team.
Yes, it will. The Vulcans trying to survive and advance in this PSAC tournament. Second half action coming up next right here on CUTV.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
You are watching CUTV, California University Television. CUTV Vulcan Women's Basketball brought to you by First Niagara, JD Waterproofing, Lee Supply Company, the Physical Therapy Institute, Trip Total Media, and UPMC Health Plan. Zach, taking a look at the halftime stats, you talked about being efficient. Both of these teams have been very efficient with their shooting.
So Seton Hill shooting about 54%, California right behind 52%. We'll see how that goes in the second half, though. Sometimes California can get a little bit complacent. Rebounds just about even. More turnovers and steals forced by California, though.
You're right, and now we're going to take a look at our players of the half. First for California, we have Emma Mahadi. She played very well in that first half with 13 points.
13 points, 3 rebounds, 2 steals as well, and a block, just adding to her success tonight. She did not sit a single minute. I don't expect her to in this game unless she gets in foul trouble. She's the best player on the court right now for the Vulcans.
She has been the best player so far, and there you see Kate Seabaum make the nice pass to Mahadi, but another good player for the Seton Hill Griffins has been Kelly Brennan.
Kelly Brennan, 10 points. And we saw that and 1 at the end of the first half. That could be the momentum swing Seton Hill needs. California going to start with possession as we get back to live action.
And it's Mickey Glenn with possession, and now she's going to get it back. So we're back to live action. Irina Kukal drives inside. Her shot will not fall. Gattuso gets the rebound. Bringing it up is Alviani. Gives it to Gill. Back to Alviani. Now to Gattuso on the wing. Gattuso looking for some help. She finds Gill, top of the key. Down low to Sanner. Sander's shot will not fall. Rebound comes down to Mahadi, and she draws the foul on Sander.
And that's going to be Sanders' second. She fouled out on Wednesday night, doing a lot better job of keeping it clean, but Seton Hill with an early team foul just over 30 seconds into the second half. They get in foul trouble. California can pull away at the free throw line.
Glenn brings it up the court, gives it to Fratz. Back over to Mickey Glenn. Now to Mahadi, top of the key, inside to Kukul. Irina Kukul turns, takes a shot. That will fall for 2 points. Kukul gets the Vulcans on the board in the second half.
She has 7 now in the game. First person to score in the second half, extending the Vulcan lead to 9.
Gill brings it up. Pace has slowed down from the end of that first half. Gattuso tries to bring it up, but she gets it stripped away by Kukul. Now Mahadi brings it up quickly. Mahadi to Hines. Ashley Hines around a player. That does not fall. That was Stossel defending well, and California will keep possession.
And Stossel was the one that knocked it out. Unlucky break there for Ashley Hines, not getting the layup to fall in, but California able to keep possession. Fresh shot clock. We'll see if they wind it down a little bit, try and kill some time early off here in the second half.
Kukul kicks it out Kukul gets it kicked out from Fratz. Now she goes back to Fratz. Now to Mickey Glenn. Glenn back to Fratz. Long three for Caitlin Fratz. That's no good. Hines gets the rebound, but takes the foul first. Ashley Hines with her second possession will go to Seton Hill.
And we'll see on the replay here, Fratz, her three-pointer looked a little good, just a little bit to the right. And Hines didn't really see an over-the-back call there, just kind of spun around with Alviani, got the rebound, but foul called nonetheless. That's her second of the game.
Gill gives it to Alviani. Inside to Gattuso, goes off of her fingertips and out of bounds. California will get possession right back on the turnover.
And that's 2 turnovers in 2 possessions now for Seton Hill. California doing a much better job forcing those turnovers here tonight.
Glenn brings it up. California content to slow down their offense and give Seton Hill less touches to come back in this game. Fratz to Kukul, around to Glenn, now around to Mahadi. Emma Mahadi drives inside. She's going to get called for the travel as she was not able to pull up quick enough.
Yeah, she stopped her progress, maybe took just too many steps there, maybe a third step as she tried to halt herself and pull it back out, but they're still up by 9. The defense is really what's going to be key here for California in this half.
Alviani looks to drive inside, pulls up, gives it to Gill. It's open down low. She gets double teamed, now kicks it over to Alviani. Alviani to Gattuso. Back to Gill. Gill long two. That's no good. Alviani tried to go after the rebound. It's going to bounce to Mahadi. And Mahadi pulls up, takes a jumper for 2. That's no good. Rebound kicks out. It's going to go to Alviani. Stripped away by Mahadi. Emma Mahadi brings it up all alone, and that's good. Emma Mahadi with the layup.
And in the last possession there for Seton Hill, we're going to have a timeout called by Seton Hill before the inbounds with 17:07 left. But back to what I was saying, Caitlin Fratz was knocked down as Mahadi came away with the rebound. And Fratz was slow to get up. She's not hurt. She's still in the game. But she wasn't able to track with the rest of her team. It also kind of helped, though, because she was able to impede the progress of Seton Hill's fast break, led to a bad pass, an easy layup off the fast break for Emma Mahadi. So we have a great view there. Camera 3. Mahadi now with 15 points. California up to an 11-point lead. So sometimes those falls help you get it back up in just the right lucky spot.
Emma Mahadi playing a great game for the Vulcans so far. 15 points for her today. She's really stepped up, and Zach, this team knows how to win the playoffs. They know what it takes. That run last year, even though they didn't win the region, I think still really helped them because the only player they lost was Stephanie Michael. It was basically, they had that them against the world mentality, and they're going to need that now.
Yeah, and although Stephanie Michael is probably your best offensive scorer, Emma Mahadi has really stepped up this year. She's coming in averaging just under 13 points. She has 15 tonight. The last 2 games, if she stopped right now against this team, she would have 38 total points. That's 19 between both games. But you also add players like Caitlin Fratz, Shanice Clark, Mickey Glenn, a dynamic freshman who might be freshman of the year. Who knows? But we've seen Seabaum and Antonenko, big players last year, take a seat because all these newcomers and veterans have stepped up their game.
17 minutes left to go in the game. Gill with possession. She gives it now to Stossel. Over to Gill. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Gattuso gets around the double team, gives it to Gill. Gill almost had a strip. 5 seconds. Alviani loses control. It's going to go into the backcourt. It's going to be a backcourt violation, and the Vulcans will get possession.
You saw Alviani slow down there. It's not because of the lack of hustle on her part. It's just because no one else touched the ball. So even if she got it in the backcourt, it would have been a turnover anyway. So just smart, not trying to hurt yourself with too much hustle there, and keeping later plays in mind with 16:35 left.
Mickey Glenn gives it to Kukul. It's going to be a kickball here against Sanner.
She looks to be in a little bit of pain after that one. Is Sanner, a local product from Uniontown High School, kicked off her ankle. As we see, she has a wrap on her left leg and then a sleeve on her right leg. So if that happened to hit off her left ankle, she might be in a little bit of a tensing pain right now.
Kukul gets to the top of the key, gives it over to Fratz, back to Kukul. Now to Glenn. 7 seconds on the shot clock. She drives inside, loses control. It's going to go out of bounds, and the Vulcans will have possession. Only 4 seconds on the shot clock.
We'll see right here, Sanner able to knock it out of the hands of Mickey Glenn as she was going up for the shot. Glenn's going to inbound it right now. I'd look to see Emma Mahadi get the ball.
Shanice Clark, long shot there. There's going to be a foul underneath against California. It's going to go against Irina Kukul. That's her first, team second.
With 16:10 left, you want to make sure you don't get in early foul trouble. Send Seton Hill or California to the line. Both these teams don't want to give up easy shots with no defense basically in front of you.
Paige Alviani gives it to Gattuso. Gattuso gets around the defender, and she puts her first points of the half on the board.
She only has 6 in the game, averaging 16.3 on the year. She's really going to have to start to heat up, which is possible. California sometimes has trouble guarding very tall players down low.
Vulcans lead by 9. 15:40 left to go. It's stolen away by Sanner. Sanner brings it up. Gets the shot to fall. Mallory Sanner with another 2 points, cuts the lead to 7.
And the fans behind us arguing for an offensive foul, but because Kuko's feet were moving, I don't think you're going to get that call any day, because Kuko didn't set herself before the foul was given.
3 by Kukul, no good. Rebound bounces around. I think it went off of Seton Hill. It did. And we've reached our first media timeout of the half.
And with 15:17 left, like you said, our first media timeout. The scoring in this half hasn't been as collective as it was the beginning of the first half before our first media timeout. 4 points on each side, still a 7-point lead. You see Kuko here. This was the first made shot, banking off the glass and in, something Tim Duncan likes to do for the San Antonio Spurs. Bank it off and in. And then Emma Mahadi, the easy layup off the fast break on the steal. And also for Seton Hill, though, they're getting their shots to fall now. Katie Gattuso just slipping right past Fratz, who's going for the steal, putting up the easy layup. And then Mallory Sanner got the easy layup on a fast break off a steal as well, similar to Mahadi. Fans were arguing for a foul there against Sanner, but no call because Kuko's feet were still moving with Sanner.
And you can catch this game as well as plenty other full sports games from the Vulcans season so far on our YouTube page, CUTV Sports 1. You can also catch news broadcast, full news broadcast on CUTV News Center, both on YouTube, so you can get all of the action from our CUTV programming.
Yeah, and I know the Wednesday night game may not be on YouTube just yet. I don't believe it is, but if you have a chance to go see that game, even if you just watched about the last 15 seconds, it's something that made it an instant classic. We may see that on a future episode of From the Vault on CUTV.
Right now they're cleaning up some ice cream on the court. They had the ice cream scream earlier and one of them got dropped, so have to wait for that before we get back to action. The Vulcans will have 16 seconds on the shot clock to work with.
We see Seabaum and McKnight come in for Fratz.
Clark underneath. Getting it called for the offensive foul. That's Clark's third personal foul today.
She was in foul trouble on Wednesday night as well. She was able to tame it down a little bit later in the game, but This is what Seton Hill needs. Cause some turnovers, hit your shots, get back in this one. The other player I forgot to mention subbing out was Irina Kuko.
Alviani gives it to Stossel. Back to Alviani now. They get set up for the offense. Alviani kicks it over. Stossel, 3, no good. Rebound bounces out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Seton Hill.
And the shot clock will reset because it did hit the rim. McKnight going up for the rebound. She was also contested with Kelly Brennan not able to hold on for control. With 14:52 left, Seton Hill has another chance to get some points back.
Alviani gives it to Gattuso, pressured by Glenn. Glenn's going to work off of her. Now it's going to be passed over, almost picked off by Seabaum. Brennan gives it to Alviani now. Reset, 18 seconds on the shot clock, plenty of time. Alviani goes over to Stossel. Now to Sander. Sander steps inside, throws up a shot. That's good. Mallory Sander, another 2 points.
That's 9 now for the junior from Uniontown.
5-point lead for California. 14:20 left to go in this second half. Kate Seabaum drives inside, kicks it out to Mahadi for 2. That's good. Emma Mahadi answers back. She's up to 17 points on the night.
From one Australian player to another, Kate Seabaum racking up the assists right now. I believe that's 3 for her on the night. She's just having those easy passing lanes open up for her to find her other teammates and get the buckets to fall in.
Stossel with control. She's pressured by Clark, looking for somebody to pass to. 10 seconds on the shot clock. She finds Gattuso. Gattuso trying to step around Clark. She will. She drives inside, gets it stripped, and Seton Hill will have possession. Only 5 seconds on the shot clock.
We're going to see Hines and Dixon come in for McKnight and Clark. Hines not taller than Clark, but Hines also a very good defensive player. Cece Dixon as well. I mentioned Hines using swim moves like a football player and try and confuse the offensive player.
And Hines has really gotten to the head of Gattuso. She picks off that pass right there.
And that's exactly why she was put in there. She's not tall, but her hands might be some of the best on the team at picking off passes and tipping the passes away.
Glenn slows down the pace and sets the offense. Gives it to Mahadi. That was almost picked off. Mahadi throws up a 3. That's no good. Sander gets the rebound.
And Alviani missed on that defensive opportunity. She's bringing it down the lane now.
Alviani throws up a shot, and that is good. The lead cut down to 5.
And now we're seeing California start to pick up the pace a little bit on offense, trying to make sure that they keep Seton Hill at bay. The same thing happened Wednesday. You're up by 7. Seton Hill was able to come back.
Mahadi with control, trying to drive inside, gives it to Hines. Hines can't control it. Gattuso can't either. Neither can Alviani. It bounces to Sander. Stossel brings it up now, gets it back to Sander. To Alviani. Alviani drives inside, no shot there. It's going to be a foul against Kate Seabaum. Mickey Glenn.
And it's hard to decipher who the foul's going to be on because there's a 12 and a 21. When the refs are up a 2-1, you don't know which way they're trying to give the sign to the scorer's table. Is going to see Sander check out of the game now.
Gattuso with possession, trying to back up Hines. She's going to throw up a shot. That's no good, but she draws the foul on Ashley Hines. That's her 3rd. And Zach Sander checked out of the game, but she's been laboring up and down the court quite a few times.
Yeah, it's been a lot of back and forth play recently because everybody's missing their shots. Gattuso missing that one right there. She's going to go to the line. She's 72% from the line on the year. 6 points so far, make it 7 now.
Gattuso cuts into the lead, now down to 4.
And California has 5 team fouls now, so they're going to have to watch their foul trouble.
Hits the second as well, just a one-shot game now with 12:30 left to go. Cece Dixon gives it to Seabaum. Kate Seabaum looks to drive inside, pulls up, throws up a shot. That's good. 2 points for Kate Seabaum. She now has 4 on the day, and the lead extends back to 5.
And Seabaum put so much work in her shot, bringing her legs completely up, bending her knees completely, and just flicking it up there. But it's such a nice, easy shot, and it falls in more times than not.
The California bench coming alive right now. Wells with possession, drives inside, kicks it out to Brennan. It's going to be a travel called. And with that, we've reached a media timeout, 11:51 left to go. We're going to take a break. Vulcans lead by 5.
Watch CUTV online anytime, anywhere. Check out your favorite original programs, coverage of the biggest events on campus, and cheer on your Vulcan sports teams. CUTV, log on, tune in now. Visit cutv.calu.edu/live.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
Welcome back to CTV's coverage of Vulcan women's basketball. The Vulcans leading by 5, and you can find all of your Vulcan news, stats, and schedules at calvulcans.com. And that is definitely a website all Vulcan fans should have bookmarked because a lot of spring sports starting up now.
Yeah, you have baseball, softball playing this weekend, tennis as well, the track and field indoor competitions going on as well, and we just got notification baseball split a doubleheader between Shippensburg today, winning 1, losing 1.
Back to action here. The Vulcans up by 5. CeCe Dixon with control. She gives it to Fratz. Now to Seabaum. Seabaum's going to reset. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Seabaum goes to Mahadi. Mahadi steps back for 3. That is no good. Rebound bounces around. Dixon comes down with it.
And give credit there to Ashley Hines for batting it around and Dixon able to come up with it.
That one went off all either. Great play by Seabaum to tip that rebound out to Fratz.
And following her shot, she saw it wasn't going to go in, just reached her hand up there. She's not exactly a tallest player. Good move.
Going to be a foul on the floor. It's going to go against Seton Hill. Will be against Stossel. That's her second.
And was not quick enough to look over at the replay to exactly see the foul. California going to have 21 seconds on the shot clock, though.
Ashley Hines spins. Her shot will not fall. Tries to get her own rebound, but it's going to be a foul. I believe it's going to go against Hines. If it is, that's her 4th.
And it is, and we're probably going to see her check out, and we will. Irina Kuko coming back into the game. Ashley Hines, 7 points. She's cooled down a little bit. She's so big at causing turnovers, getting the rebounds down low. With 11 minutes left, 4 fouls. We may not see her for quite a while.
And with Hines, that's dangerous because she's really in Gattuso's head right now. Gattuso having a tough time against her. If she gets hot, that could mean trouble for California. Wells, inside Gattuso's pass. The pass to Gattuso picked off by Mahadi. Seabaum brings it up, pulls up, kicks it back to Fratz. Caitlin Fratz with the lane. Steps inside, takes a shot. That's no good. Brennan comes away with the rebound.
California needs to start hitting some more shots. You can't keep a 5-point lead forever.
Kelly Brennan steps inside, takes a shot, and that is good. That lead down to 3.
California going to slow it down now. They picked it up a little bit and try and wear down Seton Hill. That didn't work. Now they'll try and slow down, find some holes in the defense, try and get an easy shot off.
Kukol drives inside. It's going to draw the foul against Stossel. That's her 3rd.
We're going to see Stossel check out. Saner and Gill coming back into the game. California, a fresh shot clock now, just over 10 minutes left. So we've reached the halfway point of the second half. We'll see which team can continue their season. It's been a back and forth contest as of this moment.
Kate Seabaum to inbound for California. She's trying to find somebody. She finds Fratz. Gets worked around now to Kukol. To Mahadi. She resets the play. Back to Kukol. Over to Seabaum. Kate Seabaum, pressured by Gill, kicks it over to Kukul. Kukul for 3, that's no good. Rebound bounces around, Brennan's gonna come away with it. And she'll draw the foul against Emma Mahadi. That's her second, team 7th.
And that is the team 7, so that's gonna send Brennan to the line. She's hit all of her free throws today. She hits both here. It's a 1-point game, and Seton Hill, that momentum is definitely carried over in this second half. California, they need to find some way to get it back to their side.
9:45 left to go, and California's hit their 7th team foul. Brennan misses it. California with the lucky break there.
A very lucky break. If she even hit one of those, it's a 2-point game.
Fratz with possession. She gives it to Cece Dixon. Now to Seabaum. Back out to Fratz for 3. That's no good. Now to Seabaum once again. Mahadi to Seabaum. That goes out of bounds. So another turnover by the Vulcans.
In California right now, they're playing a little frazzled, realizing Seton Hill's coming back just like they did Wednesday. They have to put Wednesday night out of their minds, play right now. This could be the last 9 minutes of your season, possibly.
Paige Alviani gives it to Gill. Gill at the top of the key. She drives inside, throws up a shot. She draws the foul, but it's going to be an offensive foul against Gill. That's her second, team 4th.
And that's a lucky break for California. 9 minutes left now. We have Alviani back in the game for Seton Hill, and Mickey Glenn as well.
Glenn brings it up. Now she's going to pull it back out and set the offense under 9 minutes to play. Seabaum looking for help. She finds Fratz. Fratz for a long 2. That's good. Caitlin Fratz, another 2 points. The Vulcan lead back up to 5.
And that's 10 now for Fratz. She's the second Vulcan in double figures. If California can hit shots like that, it very much increases your chances of winning.
Alviani inside to Gattuso. That's going to be picked off by Kukul.
Gattuso was looking for another foul and couldn't tell exactly what she was saying, but she's been concerned she's not getting fouls called against her all night.
Glenn inside to Kukul. Irina Kukul works around a defender, throws up a shot. That is good, and California's lead is back up to 7.
And I'm surprised there's no offensive foul called there, honestly. Kukul just spun around, because now we're going to get a foul called against Seabaum. Going to send Alviani to the line. And on the year, 87%. She's the best free throw shooter on this team.
Kate Seabaum with her second foul. 8 minutes to go in this second half. The Vulcans up by 7.
And Alviani, like I said, 87%. She has 7 points in the game as of the moment.
Alviani hits her first. Second shot is up. That is good as well. So Alviani cuts the lead back down to 5. Kate Seabaum brings it up, gives it to Fratz. Now it's going to be kicked out to Mahadi. That is good for 2. Another 2 points for Emma Mahadi, and it's going to be a foul.
Don't believe there's going to be a foul called. Not exactly sure the call there. The points did count, but we've reached our media timeout. Maybe that was the call there. I'm confused as to what goes on. What went on, excuse me. With 7:44 left, we've reached our media timeout. That's all we can really tell you is what happened.
Yeah. The California has a 7-point lead, 7:44 left to go, and we're going to take a look at our player of the half so far, and that has been Emma Mahadi.
And she has 19 points in the game. She had 23 Wednesday, on her way to maybe matching that or eclipsing it. You see right here the easy fast break layup as she stole the ball away, I believe from Stossel, if my memory serves me right. And then a couple jumpers just before the arc. That's helping build her point total. Well, look right here. She's 1 for 4 in 3-pointers. but 6 for 8 everywhere else. And if that's going to be what's helpful to your game, then take those shots. We've really not seen Mahadi take a lot of threes in this half for good reason, getting her point total up there.
Emma Mahadi, a very good player for the Vulcans so far, 19 points today. And California's really been distributing the ball well so far. We talked about the assists. See, Irina Kukul has 3 assists in this game, and they've just been passing the ball very well, and that's the reason why they have this 7-point lead that they do, but they're gonna have to extend that. This game is not over.
Absolutely not over. 7:44 left. 7 points in 7 minutes is absolutely nothing. That's basically a point a minute. You know, if there was a minute left, maybe I'd start to think California might start pulling away a little bit. This game might be over, but 7 minutes, it could be the equivalent of 20 minutes to some teams. They just have to calm down and get the points back on the board.
California came back from down by 6 very late in that game on Wednesday night. Seton Hill looking to do the same now. It's Alviani to Gill. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Gets worked around to Sander. Sander's shot is blocked by Irina Kukul, and they'll have 5 seconds to work with on the shot clock.
And I don't really even know if you could consider that a shot. Kukul just put her arms up and swatted the ball away. California does have 10 steals. That's a note. That's the 14th time in 16 games they've done that.
Gattuso gets the inbound pass. She has 2 seconds. She's going to have to take a shot. That will not fall. Vulcans get the rebound.
Seabaum doing a very smart senior move, slowing it down, making sure her teammates are in front of her, not forcing anything.
Seabaum to Fratz. Caitlin Fratz drives inside. Throws a shot. Gets it partially blocked by Gattuso. Gattuso tips the rebound out. Stossel brings it up. Sander inside layup, no good. Tries to get it back. It's going to go out of bounds off of Kate Seabaum. So with 6:49 left to go, the Griffins will have possession. Alviani to inbound. She gets it back from Gattuso. 3 for Alviani, no good. Rebound comes to Fratz.
Caitlin Fratz today, that is her 4th rebound. She's been rebounding at a much higher rate the past few games. That's something I'm sure Coach Jess Strom is happy to see. Being such a small player, you may not get a lot of rebounds, but she's playing a lot more near the basket lately.
Glenn brings it up. Looks to drive inside. She does. She throws up a shot. That's no good. Rebound goes to Stossel. Stossel kicks it out to Sander. Now over to Alviani. Alviani for 3. That's no good. Kukul gets the rebound.
Alviani's missed 2 straight 3-pointers now, basically from the exact same spot on the court. She's just long both times, and she starts to shorten up her stroke. That's going to be very dangerous for California. She's a very hot 3-point shooter when she can get on the right streak.
5:55 left to go. Vulcans up by 7, and there's going to be a foul here against Sander. That's her 3rd personal foul, team 6th.
And that's going to bring Seton Hill more dangerously close to the penalty, as that's actually only the 5th team foul, not the 6th. So we looked up a little late from they changed the scoreboard. Gill's going to check out. Kelly Brennan coming in.
Brennan's been strong for the Griffins off the bench. Seabaum gives it to Fratz. Vulcans still lead by 7. Almost had that picked away. Mahadi smartly calls the timeout as she was on the floor. The Vulcans can reset here.
And a very smart move, like you said, by Emma Mahadi, the junior. And we'll take the time now to update you on some of the other scores. IUP leading UPJ with just under 4 minutes left, 72-48. So most likely IUP moving on to play Edinburgh on Tuesday. And then in the men's side, Seton Hill down 1, 53-52. Just under 5 minutes left there, keeping that one very close. As you look at the bracket right here on the women's side, this is the only women's game going on right now. Everything else, upsets galore. Or excuse me, IUP, they're still going on. That game is not concluded just yet, but most likely that result will hold with IUP winning. California and IUP, really the only 2 teams right now at home that are ahead in their scores. And then on the men's side, California losing to Mercyhurst in a heartbreaker, up 9 points at one time, losing by 4 as we get back to live action.
Kate Seabaum with possession looking to extend this 7-point lead for California. Seabom still controls the ball. 10 seconds on the shot clock. She gives to Kukul for 3. That's good. Irina Kukul gives the Vulcans a double-digit lead.
And that's 12 now for Kuko, the third Vulcan in double figures. This might be the time where California possibly starts to pull away, but you can never count Seton Hill out. They are a very fast-scoring team.
Alviani gets it back from Stossel. Cross the court to Brennan. Brennan for 3. That's no good. Rebound goes to Kukul.
And Kuko now has 3 rebounds. That's her first defensive rebound, so doing a good job on the offensive boards, providing second chances for California.
Mickey Glenn brings it up. Gives it to Fratz. Caitlin Fratz slowing down the pace, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Gives it to Mahadi. Emma Mahadi to Seabom. Seabom drives inside, kicks it out to Glenn. Glenn, a jumper for 2. That's good for Mickey Glenn. The Vulcans lead by 12.
And we're going to get a timeout from Seton Hill now as California just went on a run of their own. You have a 3-pointer from Kuko, a 2-point shot from Glenn, who has 8 of her own. And just like that, California, their lead went from 7 to 12 in the matter of about a minute and 10 seconds.
Yeah, California really turning it on whenever they've needed it, and Seton Hill having to call the timeout to regroup. Still quite a few minutes left, and another player that's having a great second half has been Irina Kukul.
She has 12 points in the game. We'll look at some of her replays right here. That was the first shot of the second half that went in, a 2-point bank shot. And then also an easy layup after there may have been an offensive foul that should have been called. And then the 3-pointer right here. So she has 7 points in this half. She's been a second half player all year long. She can get very streaky when the game is running down in minutes. Seton Hill right now, they need something to go their way with 4.5 left.
Stossel bringing it up for the Griffins. Trying to advance to the second round of the PSAC playoffs. Brennan goes to Gattuso. Pressured by Kukul, she throws up the shot, gets it to fall, but it's gonna be an offensive foul on Gattuso. That is her 3rd foul. She's frustrated with it.
And she has to be careful though. She does not want to draw a second technical, because I believe if the rules are the same as professional, she will get ejected from this game.
Kate Seabom slowly brings it up. Vulcans content to run clock here with 4:03 left to go in the second half. Kukul looks up at the shot clock, realizes she has time, drives inside, throws up a shot, it does not fall, and she's gonna draw the foul.
It looks like it's gonna be an offensive foul. That's going to be her second. So 2 straight possessions, offensive fouls. That also counts as a turnover. We're gonna get another timeout by Seton Hill, but that's also our media.
With that, we're gonna take a break. Vulcans lead by 12 right here on CUTV.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
Let's take it to the field. I come through like a freight train, about to push the line back. Only see the gold line, don't matter if your line stack. Because I'm a soldier, you can see my face paint. Know that I'ma get mine by knowing that the rest can't. We ready for 'em, let's get it on. We ready for 'em, let's get it on. We ready for 'em, let's get it on. We ready for 'em, let's get it on.
Welcome back to CTV's coverage of Vulcan women's basketball. We're taking a look at our upcoming schedule. The second round of the PSAC playoff is scheduled for Tuesday, March 8th, and then we will also have coverage of the semifinals and the finals on the women's side of things. We will be covering the women's final PSAC championship game on PCN, so you can check for that live, the CUTV broadcast on PCN. be the second time we will produce a game for PCN this year. We also did the football game, as we're going to have a foul here against Irina Kukul. And Zach, it's definitely a great experience for all of us here to get to work a live event.
Absolutely, we've done it a few times. We did a live high school shoot, Clareton Cal. Clareton, when they were on their long winning streak, because we're going to see Kuko out for Ashland Hines. And then also we covered the PSAC football championship, Slippery Rock in Bloomsburg, where we saw Franklin Kouyaté just prove why he was the Harlan Hill winner that year, basically.
He had an amazing game, and we're hoping that the games are just as good next weekend.
Something also, the NCAA selections are next Sunday. California right now trying to play possibly for a berth in the NCAA tournament.
California needs to advance first here to help their cause. Mahadi's shot would not fall. Sander comes down with it. Balkans with a 10-point lead in. Sander gives the ball away to Glenn.
And Kate Seabaum was the one who tipped that out. Glenn right there to pick it up. Mahadi and Seabaum were both trailing her, ready to poke the ball out when she dribbled it down on the ground.
3:08 left to go. Vulcans lead by 10. Fratz drives inside, gives it to Mahadi. Mahadi for two. That's no good. Stossel comes down with it. Alviani brings it up. Paige Alviani for two. That's no good. And Glenn gets the rebound.
That's 2 rebounds now for Glenn. And the touch on the assist, we've done that a couple times. Kate Seabaum with 6 assists in this game with 4 points. She has that total. Maybe we might be talking double-double, although there's only 2:35 left.
Fratz tries to drive inside, kicks it out to Seabaum. She resets, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Kate Seabaum tries to drive inside, draws the foul on Brennan. Brennan with her first, team 7.
And something to note, Seton Hill's in the double bonus. California now in the 1-1. Kate Seabaum, when she goes to the free throw line, 69% on the year, so she has to make this one to get a second chance at the line.
It was a shooting foul. Seabaum misses her first. Vulcans still lead by 10, 2:24 left to go in regulation. Seabaum hits her second. She adds to her point total of the day. Up to 5 now. Alviani brings it up. 2:20 left to go in regulation. An 11-point lead for California. It's going to be a kickball on Seabaum. So Seton Hill will get possession. 22 seconds to work with on the shot clock.
And only 2:16 left in the game, down by 11. Seton Hill, they're not desperate right now, but they need something to go their way.
Brennan has control. Thought about a long three. Instead, is going to bounce it over to Sander. Sander tries to go inside on Gattuso. That pass tipped by Glennon. There's going to be no foul there as Glenn brings the ball up now.
And that's surprising there's no foul there. We're going to get a foul on Paige Alviani now. Going to send Glenn to the line. That might just be a frustration foul right there as Gattuso was very slow to get up.
And Sander now talking to the official, and here's the replay there. It's just a physical battle underneath. Glenn made some contact, but
looks like she might have tried to back off, really, though. That may be why they didn't call the foul, because she wasn't trying to force contact there. Might have just been in the officials' eyes incidental.
Mickey Glenn now at the line for California, makes her first.
And if Glenn can make the next free throw, she will be the 4th Vulcan in double figures. She currently has 9.
That foul was against Alviani. That's her 3rd, team 8. Glenn, her shot is good, and she's up to 10 now, as you said, 4th Vulcan, in double figures.
And now the lead up to 13. I believe this is the largest of the game. California is starting to pull away as time is winding down. 1:50 left.
Alviani has it for the Griffins. Trying to drive inside, gives it to Gattuso. Gattuso throws up a shot. That's no good. Gets her on rebound, throws it up. That is good for Katie Gattuso, and the Griffins are going to call a timeout.
And Allison, if I told you Katie Gattuso coming in averaging 16 points on the year, when would you think she'd get 10 points? Well, she just did with 1:40 left in the game. California today, it's kind of similar to the Edinburgh game when they went to Macomb Fieldhouse and shut down Anya Freeland. doing a good job down low, double teaming, and Gattuso not getting off any easy shot at all throughout the game.
Ashley Hines has played a great game. She's only had 7 points, but defensively, and the way that she has just irritated Gattuso has made a huge difference, and she can do that against the likes of Nettie Blake and Jen Pappage. This California team can pull off some victories.
And something we've not seen yet tonight, which we may see Tuesday, and I'm sure maybe some coaches for Gannon here trying to scout these teams. Elena Antonenko has not played a minute. And although sometimes she struggles against Gannon and Nettie Blake and Jen Popovich in their height, maybe trying to save Antonenko as we're going to get a foul called on Brennan. That's her second, sending Seabaum to the line for a 1-and-1.
Another player, the only other healthy player for the Vulcans that has not played today has been Chelsea McKnight. And Nia Taylor-Clark, excuse me.
McKnight played maybe a minute or two, but she didn't really do anything. Seabaum makes her first, but you know, everyone is just really having collective balanced moment tonight, trying to get the win.
Kate Seabaum hits her second as well, extends the lead up to 13. Alviani brings it up, goes to Gattuso. She's wide open inside, has to recontrol the ball, and Fratz is going to pick off her pass and draw the foul.
And that's going to go on Brennan. That will be her third, and I'm surprised that ball, they just didn't call Gattuso out of bounds. We'll see right here on the replay. It looked like from this angle she was out already. But California able to come away with the steal anyways. Gattuso was not out, but Fratz intercepting the pass, getting the foul on Brennan. She will go to line for 2 shots because the Vulcans are now in the double bonus.
Caitlin Fratz trying to add to this lead. 1:27 left to go. The Vulcans lead by 13. Fratz hits her first.
And Allison, Mahadi has 19. This might be the first game in quite a while. The Vulcans don't have a 20-point scorer, but the defense, as Fratz hits her second, was the key factor tonight, and a balanced offensive attack from a lot of people.
Quick pass up to Stossel, and it's going to be a foul on Kate Seabaum. That's her third. And you're right, Zach, it has been the defense for this California team, only giving up 54 points today.
And Wednesday, when they played Seton Hill and they gave up 72, that's the first time they've given up more than 65 points since the UPJ game, I believe. Possibly Gannon. I cannot remember as Stossel misses the first, but California, if they don't let you score, they're always going to have a very good chance of winning, even if they don't put up a lot of points themselves.
Stossel hits her second. Kate Seabaum trying to escape the Griffins, and they do, and the Griffins tried to foul, but Mahadi's going to bring it up. Mahadi still with possession, kicks it back to Seabaum. Kate Seabaum is going to get fouled by Katie Gattuso. That's her fourth. 1:13 left to go. Vulcans leading 69-55.
And at this point, Seton Hill just has to foul and hope that the Vulcans miss at least one or possibly both. Seton Hill, really, they're living on a prayer right now, trying to come back as Seabaum makes her first, giving her 8 on the game.
Seabaum's second shot is up. That one is no good. Rebound comes to Kukul. She's going to get fouled immediately by Alviani. That's her fourth.
I was just about to say that. So really the 2 best players for this team have been in foul trouble all night. We didn't see Alviani for quite some time in the second half. Gattuso's been in there, but she hasn't done anything. So the defensive effort, as Kuko hits her first, giving her 13, as well as making sure some of the key players for Seton Hill are on the bench, has really come together for the Vulcans tonight.
Second shot is good as well. Kukul now has 14 points, on the day.
And it's a 17-point lead with 1:05 left.
Alviani for 3. That's no good. Gattuso does get the rebound. Gattuso pressured. Pass is picked off. Alviani gets control. It's going to be a jump ball as Kate Seabaum got in there as well. Possession favoring the Griffins.
And you saw Glenn and Seabaum both in there diving after the ball. And at this point, it doesn't matter who has possession because it's a 17-point game with 55 seconds left, but still good to see great hustle from both of these teams.
Alviani inbound pass to Sander. Mallory Sander gives it to Gattuso. Gattuso for two is good. Gattuso now with 12 points, under 50 seconds to go in the game.
And Seton Hill no longer fouling. And we look over to the Seton Hill bench. Mark Katarski, head coach, just putting his hands on his knees. I think California has definitely put the nail in the coffin here tonight.
Mickey Glenn still maintains control, 10 seconds on the shot clock. California does have to shoot. Drives inside, gets fouled on the play. The foul is going to go against Alviani. That's her fifth, and the senior will check out of the game.
And probably her last game. Seton Hill would have had to win the PSAC to get into the NCAAs. We see her emotional as she exits the court. You have to give her all the credit in the world as we see some of the fans clapping for her as she goes off the court. Hitting the buzzer beater Wednesday to send her team to the playoffs was probably the highlight of her entire career. And tonight, not giving up until basically 25 seconds left, putting in the towel. It's just a great career for Paige Alviani and a great season as Glenn hits her first.
Definitely one of the highlights was Paige Alviani with that shot to get her team here. Now she takes a seat as she takes her fifth foul. Glenn's shot up, that is good as well. The Vulcans now lead 74-57. Seton Hill can hold.
And they might look to score just as a pride bucket. Maybe build some momentum for next year, who knows? As Stossel goes in and does score. But California now just gonna run time off the clock.
Stossel now with 8 points, the senior. But California is going to take the win against the Seton Hill Griffins, and they will survive and advance to the second rounds of the PSAC tournament.
And Tuesday night, you have a very tough matchup with Gannon. You've lost both times at the Hammermill Center and at home, but Allison, we've been talking about this. It's very hard to beat a team 3 times in 1 year. You're gonna be at the Hammermill Center, but anything can happen.
You can see that coverage on CUTV, but right now we're gonna take a look at the updated bracket. As you see, Gannon, Cal, all of these games on Wednesday. IEP also advancing. They will play at Edinburgh. So California and IEP both looking for the upsets. The winner of the West, the highest remaining seed of the West, will be the team that hosts. So Edinburgh, if they win, they'll host. Otherwise, it could be California, or it will be Gannon or California.
Yeah, depending on if California can beat Gannon, IEP beats Edinburgh. California would have the Final Four here. It's a long shot, but we already saw 2 upsets in the East. Maybe next week is the upset week for the West.
This has been a presentation of Vulcan women's basketball on CUTV. The Vulcans win 74-59.